Today I will give a complete best tips for repairing SMPS. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to Haseel Electronics. Friends, in this video I will discuss the major faults, the main faults of SMPS and how we can repair them, how we can troubleshoot them. We have this SMPS. I will divide it into two pieces. One is input section, the second is output section. Input section, output section. If we see here, until here is input section. Here we have input section. Here we have output section. Between input and output there is a transformer, there is an optocoupler. We have just two devices between input and output. Hot side, cold side are input, output, and between them there is feedback circuit. We will see the faults, the problems in hot side and cold side, and we will see the faults and we will rectify them. I will put fault in this power supply. And we will remove them, and we will see how we can remove faults. Input side, the first short in input, or we can say fuse keeps blowing, short circuit. The first main fault is here. Okay, the second fault is SMPS is dead. The third fault, SMPS output fluctuate. In output area, output, some faults are common. This also in output side, this also in output side. We have and short in output, 1, 2, the third output, and the fourth fault, output not regulated. These are the common faults. The maximum time the faults are the same. Sometimes we have excessive noise, sometimes we have a hum sound, sometimes we have fluctuation in the output, sometimes one output is okay, the other is not okay, sometimes one output is less, the other are high. So we will see what are the possible faults. In our first step, short in input, fuse keeps blowing, I uploaded a detailed video. In that video I discussed how we can remove short from the input area. Today I will go in more detail to remove short circuit in the input area. When you are working to eliminate power supply, to eliminate short circuit, use a series lamp. If you don't have series lamp, take a tungsten lamp of 100 watt or 200 watt. The 100 watt is the best one. Cut the wire, any one wire, phase or neutral, and put one wire to the holder one side and the other side connect here. So there will no more damage in the power supply then. Okay, now if you want to eliminate the short, most of the time these MOVs, voltage arresters, these become short circuit. Okay, remove it. If it is short, remove it, because in parallel circuit, if there is a one short, the whole circuit will short. In series, if there is a one short, the other circuit will disconnected. In parallel, if any one component is short, everything will become short. So here we can remove voltage arrestor to detect short, and now I will remove one by one. Suppose our voltage arrestor is short. First of all I will demonstrate. I will show you the power supply, it is working. Set to volt, and I will remove the component one by one. DC volt, I have 4.9 volt in the output. Okay, I will remove the component to remove short circuit, and we will see the result. Because when there is short circuit in parallel, it is very difficult, but today I will make it very easy for you, so you can remove short circuit very easily. Okay, I removed this voltage arrestor. How we can test voltage arrestor? Is it working or not? Put 2 ohm and connect multimeter both leads to the component. It should not give anything. It should not. If it is giving 0 ohm, then the MOV is short. So I removed it. We no need. And now I will apply power, and we will check the voltage output. So it is working. Then the most common failure item, these capacitors. These are frequency for EMI filter, electromagnetic induction filter. These removes high frequency harmonics. If any one capacitor is short, we will get short in the input area. So I will remove these capacitors also. How we can test this capacitor? Put it to capacitor, nanofarad. First of all, make short circuit between the 2 pins so that there should no voltage, and check this. It is 27 nanofarad. It's okay, but if it is short, you will not find anything, and you will find the ohm. Here no ohm. If the capacitor is short, you will find continuity. You will find a beep. No beep, okay, this capacitor is okay. Then we will apply power, and we will check output voltage. We have voltage. Then if this capacitor is bad, so it will make the keep fuse blowing. Now we removed voltage arrestor, we removed capacitor. Then we have this capacitor. If this is short, we can remove. Sometime there is another fault. If you repair this power supply like this, it is okay. When you connect in the assembly, in the chassis gives short circuit. There is a phase present in the chassis. So in that case, these capacitors, these ground capacitors may be short. Sometimes they become short. If this capacitor is short, when it will be installed in the chassis will give a shock, electric shock. So if in that case, you have to remove these capacitors. After that, we have a bridge circuit. Now we can check this main capacitor. If the main capacitor now we can find the short circuit. When you remove capacitor, always take care for the polarity. Okay, now short the both leads, set multimeter to ohms and then capacitor, and check the capacitance. It is giving 47 microfarad, and we have 47 microfarad in the capacitor, so that means this capacitor is good. So now connect continuity and connect and the capacitor end. Now I removed capacitor, I removed the input area. If we have short circuit here, now we are finding some resistance, forward resistance. This is from the diode. Okay, some circuits have diode and some circuits don't have diode. So if here is short, at the capacitor terminal there is a short circuit, check the bridge rectifier, check the bridge rectifier, or check the MOSFET. I removed capacitor. If we find here short circuit, if we find continuity here, then we have problem MOSFET, or if there is a IC SMPS controller that is short, or MOSFET is short. It should be in one side, it should give some resistance, forward resistance for a diode. If there is no diode, maybe you will find some other resistance. One side it will be resistance, other side will not resistance. So if there is a short circuit at capacitor, main capacitor terminals, you have to check the bridge rectifier. And now we can check the short circuit here. There is no short circuit. And if you want to check the whole circuit, you have to connect at input terminal, and at the capacitor terminal put a diode here. At capacitor one terminal put one lead here at one terminal, connect one lead at one terminal and other terminal, you will find the resistance. So our bridge is being tested. Now this circuit is okay. Now positive lead one terminal and connect one lead here, other lead here, connect one lead here, one lead at one terminal, other lead at other terminal. So you will find the resistance. If you find some continuity, some short circuit at both terminals here, or you will find like this. Now connect the same lead which was connected here. Now move this lead to here. It should not give any continuity, any reading. If it is giving any reading, any one diode is bad. Now swap the leads. Now black lead here at the first terminal, you will not find anything. Now move lead to this terminal, you will find resistance here, you will find some resistance here, that is one diode. So here we find one diode continuity, that means that's good. And here we find one side, that is this diode. So for the best check, remove capacitor from any power supply. I will remove another power supply and we will check. I will remove capacitor and you can check in the same way. Today I will give a complete best tips for repairing SMPS. When there is short circuit, it is very difficult to find short circuit. So after watching this video, I am sure that you will be able to find the short circuit. Okay, now here is input terminal. Connect one lead here. We can see there is a problem. We can see here is a short circuit. It should not be short circuit. Some diode is short circuit here. This diode is short. We can see it is good condition. I removed the capacitor. It is good condition. Connect one lead to one terminal. It is good circuit. The condition of good circuit will be here. It is good condition. If you find like this at the main capacitor, connect one lead here at input terminal. If you find like this, that means it's good. And now I will show you this bad circuit. I will connect one lead here at input terminal. I am finding short circuit. I have short circuit in the input area. Here I cannot find short circuit. Here I have short circuit. So to eliminate the short, to find the short circuit, what we will do, we have to connect the input terminals. This is fuse is burnout. So connect one line here. So I have one diode short circuit here. This diode is burnout. We can see this diode is burnout. This diode burnout. This diode burnout. This diode burnout. We have completely set of 4 diodes burnout. In this, these are a good circuit. These diodes are good. So this power supply, it have 4 diodes burnout. So for good testing, remove capacitor and connect one lead here, one lead here. You will find one side resistance. Okay, or if you have multimeter at ohms, you will find some resistor 290 kilo ohm, 290 kilo ohm, like this. So best put it at diode mode or continuity mode. Reverse leads connected on the same leads, no continuity, then move to the other pin, swap these 2 pins here and here at AC input terminals. So if you are taking this condition, our input section is good. Now connect both leads at capacitor terminal. So I cannot find any short circuit here. And if I connect to this power supply, I am finding short circuit. This short circuit may be from the input side or maybe in the inverter section. Now to check input section, the filter and EMI section, we checked there is a short circuit in the bridge rectifier. So you can find the serviceability of the bridge rectifier like this. Now our input area, EMI filter and protection circuit is okay. Now I will connect back the capacitor. When you are connecting, always take care for the polarity. Never connect the capacitor in reverse ways. It is our first. If we have bridge circuit short circuit, the bridge rectifier is short, the fuse will burn out. If any capacitor is short circuit, the fuse will burning out. If MOV, the voltage arrestor, is short circuit, we will find the fuse burning out. So in this way we can check the power supply input section. Now we will move forward. If you find this capacitor short, you can remove for surety, and then when it is sure that this capacitor is short, you can replace it, and never bypass any safety, because it is good for equipment. For the testing you can remove it, but for the long-term plan you cannot remove, or you should not bypass the safety. Always safety must be the first priority. We will check voltage. I have 115 volt input, so I will check voltage at the capacitor. Here I have 160 volt. If you connect it to 220 volt, you will find 300 plus volt here. The first problem here, short in input. We determined the short circuit, how we can determine and how we can remove short circuit and fuse blowing. I discussed what are the possible causes. MOSFET is short, fuse will burn out. Bridge circuit is short, fuse will burn out. This main capacitor is short, fuse will burn out. MOV is short, fuse will burn out. If the capacitor is short, frequency capacitor, filter network, then the fuse will keep blowing. These are the main causes. Then check voltage at main capacitor. Here I have 160 volt. If you connect, because I have power supply here 115 volt. If you have 220 volt, you have to connect 220, and you will find, because these are universal power supplies, you will find 300 volt here, 300 plus volt here, 330, sometimes they go to 360 volt. Okay, now next, there is a small capacitor beside the SMPS controller. If we see from this negative end is here, directly here. Okay, if we see positive end, the positive end, positive voltage directly through one resistor, there is directly connected to this capacitor. So this resistor is used to drop the voltage, and we should find voltage here, and they should be stable. This is 13.87 volt. It should be stable. It should not fluctuate. Okay, if this voltage are not present, the power supply will dead. Power supply will not work totally. If this power supply, if this voltage are not stable, or if this voltage are not stable, two reasons. The first reason, maybe this capacitor is bad. Check, remove this capacitor, main capacitor, remove main capacitor and check. If this capacitor is good, then we have problem in the inverter section, in the output area. If the voltage are fluctuating here, these voltage are not stable, I will show you how I will make now short circuit in the output area. I have 157 volt. Now I will make short circuit. Now I made short circuit between two leads, and now we will check the voltage. We can see the voltage. So this time we have short circuit in the output area. So I will remove the short, and then we will see. I remove the short circuit, and now the voltage are stable. So how we can find? Now I have 159 volt, and if I make short circuit, so I made short circuit, I installed a tweezer. We can see the condition of multimeter. So we have problem in short circuit. So in this case, we will not find the stable voltage here. We can see the multimeter. This time I have short circuit in the output area. So how we can find where is the problem? Now go to step number 2. This time I have, if I have no output, totally no output, check this resistor, and then I will show you what we will do now. If we don't have any output, totally no output, remove optocoupler, the output area. Optocoupler, pin number 3 and 4, disconnect. This is very best technique which I use. This is my own technique, and I use this technique regularly. But when you are using this technique, you must use a series lamp. I disconnected optocoupler. This is very smart technique. Okay, now what I did, we disconnected the optocoupler. Now our optocoupler is disconnected, and now we will check the result. If optocoupler is bad, we will find the fluctuation in output area, and we will find fluctuation in DC capacitor, main DC capacitor, and we will find fluctuation in SMPS controller capacitor. This VCC for SMPS. This time this circuit is not finding any feedback, so this time we have problem. We cannot find where is the problem. Is optocoupler is bad? Is output area is bad? So remove power, take a diode, simple rectifier diode, any rectifier diode, and we have removed optocoupler, and connect the cathode side, the bar side, where is capacitor negative terminal, this negative terminal. The negative terminal is connected to optocoupler. So we will connect the negative side of this diode. This is very smart and very useful technique. This is my own technique. I removed optocoupler, connected negative side, cathode side, to the negative terminal of the capacitor. Where is capacitor? This capacitor. The negative side is connected here. Okay, now connected diode like this. You will find 7.54 volt. Now I bypassed the output section. I bypassed the feedback. This time, by using this technique, I bypassed the feedback area, and this time our output area is stable. It is 5 volt section, 5 volt power supply, and I am getting 7.6 volt. So in this way we can determine where is the problem. Now it is very useful. You can check, turn it on. The short component will heat up within few seconds. Just apply power, connect lamp in series, and you will find the diode by touching. Remove power. After 2-3 seconds you will find the hot component in this area. If any component is short circuit, you will find very immediately. So this is very useful technique. Remove optocoupler, connect diode, and connect diode, the cathode, the bar side to the negative side of the capacitor, and you will find the issue. Okay, now then there is another technique. Now we verified this section, this portion is okay. In first stage we tested the short circuit in the input area. If the SMPS is dead, sometime this optocoupler is short circuit. If this optocoupler here, I am taking voltage, if this optocoupler is short, the SMPS will short. So check SMPS function by removing optocoupler. I removed optocoupler and installed a diode. When installed diode, we will find some voltage. After that, okay, when we installed this diode, and if the voltage gets stable, okay, that time this section is working properly. This area is working properly. Now, how we can test, how we can verify that SMPS controller and MOSFET are working properly? Set multimeter to AC volt, connect one line to ground, capacitor negative terminal, and the connect second line. This is main line capacitor, and the second line is here. I should find DC AC voltage. I am finding 32 volt. This means the FET, MOSFET and SMPS circuit is working properly. If I do not find voltage here at this point, that means the problem SMPS is not functioning. So to check the SMPS, you have to first of all check this voltage. If you find this voltage, then check feedback area. To check feedback, remove optocoupler, connect this diode, and if you find some voltage here, then that's okay. If not find any voltage, check SMPS controller and MOSFET. Now I will remove this diode and we will connect optocoupler. These tips are very useful. First of all, I am not a professional YouTuber. Maybe someone can take benefit from my experience. I am sharing my experience. So if this video is good, please share this video for your friends. Maybe someone can take benefit. Now I will connect optocoupler. So up until now we verified then there is no short circuit in the input area. We verified and we discussed how we can remove short circuit. Then we checked the capacitor, how we can test capacitor, and when we installed diode we verified this portion is okay. Now I removed diode, and if this power supply is not stable, first of all I will show you it is working. Now we connected optocoupler and now DC voltage, and I am getting 4.9. When I removed optocoupler and I connected this diode, you remember we take 7.9 volts. Now I am taking 5 volts. Now I will put some short circuit. Just 1 second. So now I will connect another multimeter to show you the response of the capacitor. We will connect another multimeter so that it will very easy to understand. Now I have 160 volt at input area and stable. Now if any component I have short circuit, we can see fluctuating voltage, and here I have fluctuation. If this capacitor is short, the output fluctuating, input fluctuating. If any component we can see we have fluctuation in the output area, and there is short circuit and we have fluctuation. If any component is short circuit, any section is short circuit, we can find this voltage, and we will find a sound from the PFC transformer. So it is very easy. So check the voltage reference. Here we have voltage reference. In the center pin and one side we can find a stable voltage. In the center pin and right side we will find stable voltage, and we will check the input of the optocoupler. Okay, if input of the optocoupler is varying, here I have stable voltage, input is good, that means the optocoupler is working good. And if you get stable voltage here and the output circuit is not working, when we removed optocoupler and diode was installed, the output circuit was working and now when you connected the optocoupler and you have stable voltage at the input and it is not working, then the optocoupler is not good. Replace it. The possible reasons in the output. How to eliminate short? First of all, locate the feedback sense circuit. Where is feedback sense circuit? If we see this optocoupler, one line connected to this resistor and it is connected to this supply, and if you find this supply, it is connected to this capacitor, across this capacitor. If we see this supply, it is connected here, and for this inductor it is going back to these diodes. This capacitor is connected to L8 and L8 is connected to these diodes, these main diodes. Leave them and remove all other diodes. One end. Open all diodes one end. One by all diodes one end. Remove all diodes. Just keep these two diodes. The main diodes, rectifier diodes. Leave them and remove other all. And check the output. If you do not find output in this area, that means we have problem. Some of these components. This capacitor, this inductor, and after this inductor we have these diodes. So check these diodes. After that, install one diode, turn on power. Install other diode, turn on and check power, one by one. When any diode you install and you fail to find the power, that diode or that circuit or that capacitor is problematic. You can find very easily. I think this video is good for you. You can subscribe if you want. In this section we discussed what we will do if we have short circuit, what we will do if we have short in the input area, how to check SMPS bad, we discussed it. And if we have fluctuation in the output, we discussed and we troubleshooted it. How we can determine the fluctuation and the reason of the fluctuation. Either this fluctuation from the input side, from the output side, or from the feedback circuit. We removed optocoupler and installed diode and we tested, and we can find the problem. And how to eliminate short in the output circuit, we discussed everything. So if this video is good for you, you can subscribe if you want. And if you want to watch my future videos, you can subscribe. Thanks for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.